watching SportsBeat.
The rivalry game between two of the hottest teams in the country. Utah and BYU. Wilson on the seam, caught by Bushman. Touchdown, Cougars! Wright's got room. 35. Go, Gerald. He's off to the races. Touchdown. Intercepted.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Beat. Glad to have you aboard tonight. All right, what a wild late night we had last night in college football. Emotion in Rice-Eccles and heartbreak in Boise for the Aggies.
Yeah, the Utes are now ranked 17th in both top 25 polls and now prepare for the shot at the Rose Bowl, a rematch with Washington in the Pac-12 championship game Friday night, 6 p.m. in Santa Clara. The Utes may have been looking ahead based on the way they played against BYU in the first half of the rivalry game, but give BYU credit. They were ready from the opening kick. Zach Wilson played with a chip on his shoulder. After growing up a Ute fan, he led the Cougars to a 20-0 lead. But another freshman quarterback, Jason Shelley, would lead the Utes on a historic rally. They outscored BYU 35-7 in the second half, 21-0 in the fourth. The biggest comeback in the history of the rivalry. They make it 8 straight over the Cougars, just 1 win short of the record 9 straight wins in the series. Reaction from both sides after an emotional battle.
Another rivalry game for the for the books. I mean, what would you expect different in this game?
With the Holy War, there's a lot of emotions going around, and maybe we were a little lax, and coming out the second half, because we never really worried about it. As the whole team, we were all just like, we got it. Like second half, there's a good thing that there's 2 halves to football, and we just 28 unanswered points, and we were happy.
Kind of talked about earlier in the week how this is our, we look at it as our most important game of the year. So it does sting a lot at the moment, but we'll learn from it and we'll get over it.
Yes, it was exactly what I expected. Last year was kind of a learning experience since on the sideline. Kind of feel the energy, and then it came out, and you could just tell right away that this is a serious game.
It means a lot to guys, especially that are from Utah, just because we know a lot of those guys over there, and just winning 8 in a row it's really surreal. And like he said, I don't think it's really hit us yet, but I think that it will as the day goes on. But it means a lot to us.
Like, it hurts, but I'm just so happy that I got to play, because last week I thought I was done, and then just to be able to come out and play with these guys that I love so much, I was just happy, man. And so just to hold them one more time and say, hey, thanks for riding with me to the end, because, we just go to the wheels fall off, and that's all I cared about.
Meanwhile, Utah State dropped out of the AP Top 25, dropped 9 spots to 24th in the coaches poll. After last night's loss at Boise State, Aggies couldn't run the ball, only 62 rushing yards. But with just over 3 minutes left, Gerald Bright takes a screen pass, 83 yards, cut the Broncos' lead to 2. But Utah State couldn't keep Boise State out of the end zone in the final seconds. They lose by 9. So after 10 straight wins, no Mountain Division title, no conference championship game to host this week.
How difficult was it in the locker room afterwards, knowing that you did such a great season and you had it here, and what was said? And
Rod, that's hard, man. That's a hard. I sure didn't have that speech prepared. I didn't think about it 1 minute. I was very confident coming into the game. There's a lot of hurt.
What are you thinking? What are you feeling right now?
We play them next week. We'll fix it. That's it.
Well, Donovan and the Jazz have been hurting a little bit lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Apparently
have.
He's Nostradamus, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they lost 3 straight and sit second place in the second to last place in the Western Conference. And that's not even the bad news, Jeremiah, as they were in Sacramento tonight.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell didn't play tonight. Yeah. Out with that rib injury. Had it against the Lakers. Quinn Snyder shuffling his starting lineup. Royce O'Neal starting for Donovan, and Jay Crowder making his second start of the season at the 4 in place of Derek Favors. Would the change provide a spark?
Let's see. There is Donovan watching this one on the bench. Ricky Rubio picking up the slack in Mitchell's absence. Came out firing in the first half. Drops that 3, and then Ricky going inside Rubio, 23 points in the first half. Jazz get rolling late in the second quarter. Jay Crowder, as you mentioned, getting the start. So thank you very much. Bust the 3. Crowder with 12 in the first half. Grayson Allen coming off the bench, getting some time, and spots up for the corner 3. Got it. Then Royce O'Neal on the break. No, Rudy Gobert, the follow. 8-0 Jazz run. They led by 9 at the half. In the third, here comes Rudy. Gobert with an attitude. Rudy with 18 points, 15 rebounds. Then back to Outside to Joe Ingles. And the rookie Grayson Allen again. 8-0 run again. Jazz up 11 heading to the fourth. Allen with 9 points, 2 for 5 from 3, and it was a big fourth for the Jazz. Derek Favors ups the lead to 13. Faves off the bench tonight with 11. Alec Burks off the bench as well. He had good numbers. That right there ups the lead to 16. Then Burks going outside. It's a 20-point lead. Burks with 14 points, 4 rebounds. Then Ingles turns the corner. Oh, that little leaner. He had 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Rubio finished with 27. Jazz snapped that 3-game losing streak. They get the big win in Sacto.
It's definitely good to win. You know, after losing a few games, we really felt like we needed to get back on the winning track, and tonight we did.
Yeah, we knew, especially with Donovan out, we just wanted to be collectively aggressive. We wanted to play a different style of offense, obviously, and then get the ball moving and make these guys guard every position. So tonight, you see our big man had a lot of assists. Obviously, we played through those guys a lot, and they did a good job of making decisions, and we had a good flowing offense tonight.
All right, the BYU women's volleyball team received the 4th seed in the NCAA tournament. They host the first round against Stony Brook on Friday. Utes also in the tourney, and they will head to Provo as well on Friday to play Denver. If they both win, they'll play each other.
Rivalry.
All right, when we come back, the Utes come back in Rice-Eccles.
Zach will pass. Quick throw outside, intercepted.
Down 20 at the half. They come back, beat the Cougars for the 8th straight time. Former Ute Sly, former Cougar David, breaking it down for us next.
Madison dives across the goal line for the score.
Oh, and heartbreak in Boise. Aggies missed out on 11 straight wins and a shot at a conference title. How it happened when we come back.
You're watching SportsBeat.
All right, whenever BYU and Utah get together on the football field, just weird things seem to happen.
This is true.
No matter the records, these two give us something to remember every single time.
And last night was no different. The Utes down 20 points, rallied for victory 35-27, the biggest comeback in the history of the rivalry.
Rugby style to the right-hand side. Allman with a terrible kick, a low line drive kick. Covey's going to let it hit. It comes down. Utah falls on it. Now BYU says they've got it. And they do.
Oh, my goodness. That is the defining characteristic as play fake for Wilson. A deep drop. Goes for the back right pylon of the end zone. He's got a touchdown to Neil Pau. And the Cougars open up on top. With Shine to the right. The pull away from Shine. Pressure in on Shelley, stumbles and falls on pressure. Corbin Kafusi finishing him off.
Just to be able to come out and play with these guys that I love so much, I was just happy, man. And so just to hold them one more time and say, hey, thanks for riding with me to the end, because, you know, we just go to the wheels fall off, and that's all I cared about.
Starts left, jukes back to the right. Play fake. Wilson on the seam, caught by Bushman. 10-5, touchdown Cougars! Quick snap to Zach. Zach looks, pressure coming to the right. He's going to keep it down the sideline. He's got a lot to go to get the first down, and he got there! He got there on 3rd and 10. He runs for 12. Snap to Zach. Takes his 3-step. Steps up, fires on the seam. Caught Holker at the 1-yard line. He's down! Motion, handoff. Hadley to the plane. Got there. There's no signal, but he got there. Touchdown, there it comes! Touchdown, BYU! A conservative victory, Neal. Of course, victory is not nearly in sight for Utah, and the fans did voice their displeasure with that decision to end the half for Utah.
We got thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Credit Kalani and his guys. He had them ready. They played exceptionally well. They're a good football team, and gave us everything that we could possibly handle.
Zach will pass. Quick throw outside, intercepted. Picked off to the outside, Julian Blackman. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown! Touchdown! Blackman with a pick six.
Coach put us in a good position. You know, he called blue, and I knew that I could jump things in blue. And I knew that the receiver was about to run a slant, so I jumped in. Quarterback put it in my pocket.
Zach Wilson play fake and throws for Bushman down the far sideline. Did he make a one-handed grab on the boundary? He did! He's out of bounds with the ball! At the 21, it's a 23-yard gain. Oh, what a grab by Matt Bushman. He's having a great night. and a score by Matt Hadley. The Cougars brought in a personnel group we haven't seen. The snap went, and Hadley on the turn scores.
Formation. Jason backpedals, surveys the field, throws to the end zone, caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Samson Nakua. Pressure. Wilson to pass, throws the shovel inside and read nicely by Chase Hansen. And Hadley's down now.
Timeout for an injured player. Yeah, that could be big for BYU because there's not a whole lot of backs left.
BYU crowds the line of scrimmage on first down. Handoff, Armand, end zone, touchdown. Touchdown, Armand Shine. And we've got a one-score game with 10:53 to play in the ball game. He's going to rush four, just four. Pressure coming. He's going to be sacked all the way back at the 33-yard line. Lecky Fotu got him. Empty backfield, Shelley to pass. Scrambling, looking, down the field. Got a man wide open, Mariner. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. And down to the BYU 5-yard line. Handoff, straight ahead, Armand Shine. Puts his head down, keeps his feet churning. Armand to the goal line. Touchdown! 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 Armand Shine! They're going to give it to Riley Bird. He's not going to get it. Utah stands up big. The Utah defense is held. They tried to run power football, and Utah said, no way, you're not going to get there.
As Jason Shelley hands off, keeps Jason Shelley on the keeper. A great play fake carried out, and he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. Shotgun for Wilson. The backs are split, including a wingback. Zach sees pressure, dumps it off to Bushman. Bushman makes the catch at the 50. The 49 needs the 48. Did he get there? They mark him back, and they say no.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was short of the line again.
It's Utah 35 and BYU 27. That's 8 in a row for the Utes, and it's a great night to be a Ute here in Salt Lake City. What a game.
Former Ute Stevenson Sylvester and former Cougar David Nixon's here. And Sly, very nice not to rub it in by wearing your Utah jacket like you did last week.
Very gentlemanlike. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The Ute jacket last week was just a little too loud. So you toned it down a little bit.
365 more days would be good.
Very professional tonight. Well, this game was a tale of two halves. And Sly, for BYU, let's start with their impressive first half.
Yeah, they started the game off smoking. Utah obviously wasn't coming out prepared, especially Matt Bushman had an amazing game. What about this play was just amazing?
Yeah, Zach Wilson was very impressed with this first half. He wasn't intimidated at all by the environment. There was a fantastic ball to Matt Bushman. Bushman 6 catches for 92 yards in this touchdown on the night. But really, it's all because Utah really stacked the box. They're daring BYU to try to throw over the top. Bushman, they're going to blitz. Bushman's going to do a skinny post up the middle, and it's a great job. The play action you see from Zach Wilson, draws up the backers, and he drops right over the back of them to Bushman, and that was a huge play. They got BYU going. Obviously, gets them 13-0 and gets them rolling in that first half, and everything was going right for BYU in the first half, and momentum was going, but at the same time, you just felt like at some point Utah might come back and creep back in the game.
So now it's third quarter. You're 4th down and 1 at the goal line at Utah, your rivalry game, last game of the year. What do you do in this situation?
Listen, this is a play that BYU hasn't put on film this year. This is the old Army wing tee. You're going to see Hadley in motion behind, and you have Austin Kafensis, who came in the game underneath the center at quarterback. Hasn't been done all year, but he's doing a great job. He's going to pitch it to Hadley in motion. You're going to see Thomas Shope become a puller, and actually Kafensis, the quarterback, becomes a blocker as well, lead blocker. Hadley goes in basically untouched, and now it's 27-7. And I think all BYU fans are thinking we might have a chance. We might have a chance. Not so fast.
Well, I want to break down the BYU defense on this right here. You got one-on-one with the Utah receiver. What's going on here?
Isaiah Kafusi did a fantastic job up here on the slot. And once again, the first half, BYU defense was rolling. But this is a linebacker and a slot receiver. This is not Jalen Dixon. He's a fast receiver. This is a mismatch right here. But Kafusi does a great job. He's going to back off. He's man-to-man. He's going to back off the receiver. He does a great job of turning, doing a man turn, and gets into his hip pocket. And he's not looking back. He's not panicking. Gets his hand right there in the mesh point when the ball's coming down, is able to break it up. And so Isaiah Kafusi, fantastic job. He went out with an injury later in the game, and I really think defensively that changed the whole tone for this BYU defense because he was their leader. He was their playmaker up to this point in the game. He went out with an injury, and I think BYU struggled really filling that void.
Yep. Yeah, but what was great, Utah came back in the second half.
Here goes.
This is how you gotta start the second half off right, and Utah did it correctly.
Yeah, this is a great play by Utah. Comes up with the pick six, and this is your boy sitting there in cover 2, right?
Yeah, Julian Blackman, sorry, had a great read on this. This is cover 2, so it's 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 right here. Cover 2 means 5 under, 2 deep. These two have the halves, so you can let any vertical routes go forward. So you stay hard on any short route. He has the outside leverage, so he's just reading the quarterback. He does a quick route, beats it immediately. He's like, I'm taking it, because even if he goes up straight, I still got help behind me, which, as you can see, that receiver did a vertical, so the safety has him. But you know that you have help over the top. Gamble. He gambles at the right time. Perfect play.
Neil Powell, the wide receiver, BYU, you got to sell it a little more.
Yeah,
you got to sell. Didn't sell it all. Blackman comes up with a huge interception. So moving forward, Jason Shelley, I can't speak more about this guy. This guy handles the game super well, doesn't make mistakes, and here's one particular play where he buys some time with his legs.
Yeah, I mean, I love the composure here. Redshirt freshman, a turbulent season right now. You got your starting quarterback out, starting running back out, and he's just done an amazing job the last 3 games. Here, you see pressure coming. He doesn't panic. He still keeps his eyes downfield, finds the CLC Mariner wide open, big play. You see the cameras rocking, the stadium loving
shaking.
it.
They put him up. That was a go-ahead touchdown. And now you fast forward. You got to give props to this Utah defense. All night they were in BYU's backfield. Right here, 4th and 1, come up big.
Yeah, of course, your main guy on defense, Chase Hansen, he's in there making amazing play. But what is so great is John Pennicini. Look at this penetration on this guard right here. Messes everything up. Get back. Look, if they're trying to get here, his penetration's all the way here. Messes this play completely up, allows Chase Hansen to get up there, disrupt the play, and then you got your gang-busting defense, everybody around the play, Marquise Blair, Lecky Fotu, everybody else came in, and that's how you finish the game.
Matt Hadley, who scored that we showcased that play earlier, he went out with an injury also late in the second half, and I think that changed. Riley Bird came in, Utah defense fed off that, and man, they came up with the big plays when they had to, and credit to Utah. BYU had the chance, but wasn't to be had.
This rivalry always gives us something.
Yeah.
Something weird, something different every year.
Yeah, that's why you got to love rivalry.
Now it's the first game of the season. Next year, everyone has, bragging rights for all the offseason. They meet again at the Valero Stadium, first game of the year. We'll see how it goes.
We'll look for your blue jacket next year.
I'll bring you rocking.
All right, meanwhile, the Aggies rolled into Boise last night with their 10-game winning streak and a shot to claim the Mountain West Mountain Division title and the right to host the conference championship game this week.
Yeah, their dream season came down to this one game, and what we discovered is Boise State is still king of the mountain.
So glad you could join us tonight for this outstanding matchup between two of the hottest teams in the country. Away we go from the blue turf here in Idaho.
Love fakes the handoff, looking for Green. Green's got it at the goal line. Is he into the end zone? Yes, that is a Utah State touchdown.
There's a pass and it's going to be picked off. The Boise State defense comes up huge. Madison, end zone. Touchdown, Boise State.
Boise State brings the blitz, throwing the fade to the outside. Tarver gets the catch, and he gets the touchdown. Boise State wants to push off. They're not going to get it. Hold down. Kick is up. It's a line drive kick, and he bangs it through.
Third down and goal. Whitman wants to throw it. Surveys. End zone. Touchdown.
Here comes the blitz. They're throwing the screen. It's to Bright. Bright's got room. 35. Go, Gerald. He's off to the races. 50, 40, 35, 25, 20.
We get down 2 scores there halfway through the 4th quarter, and we continue to battle and find a way to, stay back in it.
Dan 5, touchdown, Utah State on the screen. Boise State sold out on the blitz, and the Aggies get him on the screen. No flags on the play, and that's a Utah State touchdown. And it's a 2-point game.
Madison dives across the goal line for the score. The Broncos have done it. Back to the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Boise State defeats the Aggies tonight 33-24.
How difficult was it in the locker room afterwards, knowing that you did such a great season and you had it here, and what was said? And
Rod, that's hard, man. That's a hard I sure didn't have that speech prepared. I didn't think about it 1 minute. I was very confident coming into the game. You know, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of heartache. And I think that's very reflective of the investment that our kids had put in since January. I hurt for those players. I hurt for them and the level of investment. Again, I've said it, you know, twice now, that they've put in for this program and how hard they've played and how well they've played. And they left everything out there. And the biggest thing was no regrets. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm honored and very, very humbled to be able to coach them. That's a phenomenal bunch that that's a hurting locker room right now.
A heartbreaking end of the regular season for the Aggies. David and Sly here to break this one down.
All right, guys, the glaring stat that jumps out at you, Utah State's been able to run the ball all year long, but last night only 62 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and because Boise State was stopped and they decided to go with the pass, and unfortunately turnovers occurred, but Utah State came out of the gates hot, went up 7-0. Boise State comes up 7-3, and now you have a turnover, which really changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah, what I want to highlight here is the quarters coverage. It was played perfectly. Since the trips receivers are so far away from the line of scrimmage, he doesn't need to reroute. He sits in between 2 and 3. His coverage is this running back right here. So he's just following his coverage. Jordan Love throws him the ball perfectly, pick 6, turns the tide for Boise State.
It's a great job of watching the eyes of the quarterback. You're sitting in coverage. You watch him, you keep your distance between the running back, but you gain some depth, come underneath, get the big pick. That was a big play for, obviously, Boise State. Now, fast forwarding, you know, Utah State's lived this whole season off big plays and turnovers, etc. This is one play, the punt, the fake punt that Utah State went with, and Boise State stopped them.
Yeah, and at the last game of the season, you definitely got to have some experience with this. As the special teams unit, you got to know this is the defensive unit. This is not a special teams unit. You're trying to run an offensive play against a defense with not offensive players. It's just not going to work. They should have audibled out. They did it. They took the risk. I know Coach Matt Wells said it was a one-on-one battle. You got to win somewhere. But it was a bad play call and something they should have just regular punted it.
So even with all these miscues, Utah State still has a chance to come back and potentially win the game. Huge play here by Joe Bright.
Yeah, speed. Speed kills. As I was watching this play, I'm like, speed, defense, speed, defense. But again, the key to the screenplay is how long can Jordan Love sell the play.
Gotta sell it.
He does a great job of holding onto the ball just in time for Joe Bright to get open. Watch the pressure gets to him, lofts it, perfect. Joe Bright does a great job.
Second and 25.
Yes, which you got to know, screen draw.
Exactly.
Screen draw is coming. He does a great job of letting his blocker set up, gets into the open field, and lets his speed do
Hey,
the
look at the receiver blocking downfield as well. I mean, Utah State had their opportunity. Unfortunately, get the ball the next drive. The next time they got a possession, 3 and out. That's still their fate. Great season, Utah State, but came up just a little bit short.
And we were right there in the end zone, and he was mugging for our camera. Him and I were right there. And we thought maybe there was a chance.
Almost.
There was a security guard there saying, Boise State's going to give this away. Something's going to happen. And then that happened. He said, see, I told you.
Boise State's tough on the blue turf. Yeah, it's tough to go up there and take the game from
them. But then the Aggies just couldn't stop the run. They had a big run after that in the final couple of minutes, and they weren't able to stop the run all night long.
The most frustrating thing about this, a 10-2 season, they were fun to watch. They set records in their program. They're probably going to end up playing in a bowl that no one's going to care about. Yeah. It just feels like they need a better ending to this season.
Definitely.
So close.
They were hurting last night in the locker room for sure. All right, the Utes wrapping up the Wooden Legacy Tournament with Northwestern. You will see how they did when we come back.
College Football Breakdown, brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen.
It's Utah taking on Northwestern in the Wooden Legacy. This is what happens when you don't box out.
Oh, Vic Law boxes out.
Jeez, worth another look. Vic Law with a putback dunk led the Wildcats with 19. Before the half, Novak Zoplovich, 2 of his 8 points in the half, kept the Utes within 4 at the break. Second half, Cedric Bearfield, back-to-back threes. He led the Utes with 15, but they fall 79-57.
Great clips of the week.
All right, this is cool stuff here. Tony Finau, 14th in the world golf rankings, donating 1,000 turkeys on Tuesday and going back to his Rose Park neighborhood where he grew up to give families a Thanksgiving meal they may not otherwise have the opportunity to enjoy.
It's a privilege to be in a position to give back, and one that I take pretty seriously because I know what it's like to, you know, to not maybe be less fortunate, maybe be a little less privileged. So whenever you can give out a lending hand to those that need it, I think it's a good thing.
Hey, did you catch this wild 7 overtime game between LSU and Texas A&M? This play was as wild as it gets, too. How did they make this happen? On the third overtime. Oh, this game was wild. Texas A&M ended up winning after 7 overtimes. We'll be right back.
Wild. Weird. Well, of course, last night in Rice-Eccles Stadium, BYU and Utah giving us one more memorable rivalry game.
And just the latest chapter in a legendary story. One of the best rivalries in college football. With the help of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we leave you tonight with a look back at the most memorable moments in the BYU-Utah rivalry.
I'm lucky enough to be one of the many players on the football team that actually has never lost to these.
It's a very emotional game for me.
Well, I can guarantee you our players get up for it, too.
A lot of hard feelings.
You know, we're just excited to play, and with all the talking that they're doing, it just makes it that much better. We are honored to play them.
If we play our game, I don't think there's any team in our conference that can play with us.
They don't like us, and we don't like them. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Utah's still Utah, and it's still the biggest game of the year.
I don't know why. Not too many friends are made out there.
We're just, you know, excited to even play against a great team like this.
Do you really want me to go into it? Yeah. I don't like Utah. In fact, I hate them. I hate everything about them.
Wants to throw, throws over the middle, intercepted!
I hate their program. I hate their fans. I hate everything.
Yeah, throws over the middle, pass intercepted! Draw Cougar!
I think the whole university and their fans and the organization is classless.
I'm excited for my inaugural first Holy War I get to play in.
Y'all a good team, but you're a dirty team. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
We've played BYU 9 times since I've been at Utah, and I believe 7 of the games went down to the final play.
This is Utah's world, and BYU's living in it.
Rolling to the right side. He's going to keep it. He's at the 5. The 3. Is he in there? Touchdown!
John Beck is on the run. He throws behind him. It is caught for the touchdown!
When you're doing what's right on and off the field, I think the Lord steps in and plays a part in that. Magic happens.
Felt really good again to send them home, to get them out of here. You know, they deserve to lose. I don't respect them.
And the Utes have pulled off a shocker.
Snap is back. The hold is down. Still loose, picked up by Lee. It's a touchdown. He throws long. Hoffman's out there.
What can you say?
It's BYU right now.
You know, it's an honor for us to call Utah a rival, so.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. It's kind of a feisty little battle, I guess, between two schools.
We're going to go down south. We're going to handle our business.
Well, of course, last night in Rice-Eccles Stadium, BYU and Utah giving us one more memorable rivalry game.
And just the latest chapter in a legendary story. One of the best rivalries in college football. With the help of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we leave you tonight with a look back at the most memorable moments in the BYU-Utah rivalry.
I'm lucky enough to be one of the many players on the football team that actually has never lost to these.
It's a very emotional game for me.
Well, I can guarantee you our players get up for it, too.
A lot of hard feelings.
You know, we're just excited to play, and with all the talking that they're doing, it just makes it that much better. We are honored to play them.
If we play our game, I don't think there's any team in our conference that can play with us.
They don't like us, and we don't like them. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Utah's still Utah, and it's still the biggest game of the year.
I don't know why. Not too many friends are made out there.
We're just, you know, excited to even play against a great team like this.
Do you really want me to go into it? Yeah. I don't like Utah. In fact, I hate them. I hate everything about them.
Wants to throw, throws over the middle, intercepted!
I hate their program. I hate their fans. I hate everything.
Yeah, throws over the middle, pass intercepted! Draw Cougar!
I think the whole university and their fans and the organization is classless.
I'm excited for my inaugural first Holy War I get to play in.
Y'all a good team, but you're a dirty team. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
We've played BYU 9 times since I've been at Utah, and I believe 7 of the games went down to the final play.
This is Utah's world, and BYU's living in it.
Rolling to the right side. He's going to keep it. He's at the 5. The 3. Is he in there? Touchdown!
John Beck is on the run. He throws behind him. It is caught for the touchdown!
When you're doing what's right on and off the field, I think the Lord steps in and plays a part in that. Magic happens.
It felt really good again to send them home, to get them out of here. You know, they deserve to lose. I don't respect them.
And the Utes have pulled off a shocker.
Snap is back. The hold is down. It's blocked! Ball is still loose. Picked up by Lee. It's a touchdown. He throws long. Hoffman's out there.
Field goal. What can you say?
Nah, it's BYU right now.
You know, it's an honor for us to call Utah a rival, so.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. It's kind of a feisty little battle, I guess, between two schools.
We're going to go down south. We're going to handle our business.